Hello everyone, and although it may look like we're doing some cooking here at Home Built Workshop, that is not the case, but we are going to make these quick and simple wooden spatulas for use on your cast iron cookware so you don't destroy your hard work of seasoning your pans. So stick around. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Home Built Workshop. My name is Jeff, and today's project is one that you might be able to use in your kitchen. I have recently become interested in using cast iron for cooking. Now in the past, I've kind of shied away from it because in my experience from years ago was it's kind of a pain in the neck. It's always sticking and it never really works quite well. I found that I liked the non-stick pans a lot better, but as I'm learning more about it, I know now that a lot of the problems that I've experienced in the past are really due to the pan maybe not being seasoned properly or improper methods on my part. So I've taken that interest again and I've begun using more and more cast iron. Now, if you're someone who's used cast iron a lot and you have a lot of experience with it, you guys will already know this, but if you're new to cast iron like I am, you might not know that you can't just go in there with a metal spatula and just start scraping away at something that maybe got stuck in there, because the metal spatula risks scraping up the seasoning on the bottom of the pan, and that seasoning is super important to keep your food from sticking. That's what you rely on the most, is that seasoning, and you don't want to damage that. So today, I think we're going to make some little wooden spatula scraper thingies, technical term, that we can use while doing some cooking in our cast iron pans. I found this piece of aspen kicking around the shop. I think this is left over from a year or so ago when I made some wooden spoons and things out of some aspen. Those things are holding up pretty well, so I don't see why we can't use this to make our wooden spatulas for the cast iron pans. First thing we need to do, rip this down into chunks. I decided to stop after 3 slices. I was going to slice up the whole thing, but I don't think I really need like 8 wooden spatulas now. If I need more later, I'll keep this chunk around. After bandsawing these, I just ran them through the drum sander really quick to get them down to 3/8 of an inch. Now we need to joint one edge. I could do this in about 10 seconds on the jointer, but what fun is that for such a small piece? We haven't used this guy in a while. After checking the piece to make sure it's nice and flat, it looks good, so let's move on. Now with that freshly jointed edge against the table saw fence, we'll rip these pieces down to width. Once we have all the pieces dimensioned, what we have is a blank that's 2 3/4 inches wide, 12 inches long, and about 3/8 of an inch thick. Now we just need to grab our favorite ruler and we'll lay out where we want to cut a slight taper on these pieces. I'm going to measure about 1 inch up from the scraper end, and we'll go, I don't know, a 1/2 inch in, up at the top. We'll connect those lines. So we have something like that, just a slight taper, just to make this end a little bit more comfortable. And let's do the old spray can lid round over. I've also laid out where I want to drill a hole for maybe some method of hanging, whether we put a string on here or just hang it on a hook or something like that. At least we'll have the hole there. And it's at this step where you can kind of customize this to suit your needs. If you like the handle to be a little bit narrower, well, then you can just cut it a little bit narrower. I'm going to try this measurement for now and see how it works before I cut the other pieces. I'm going to use this belt sander to flatten the edges as well as use it to round over the end of the handle. And I guess while we got the sander right here, I'll just use this to sand the little bevel on here. We'll just tip this table to about 45 degrees. I don't know technically if there's a certain angle you're supposed to use or not. We're going with 45 degrees. I'm going to use a 3/16 roundover bit to put a small roundover on all the edges. This will make it a lot more comfortable to hold. And now, if you can guess what's next, pause the video, leave it down in the comments. Let me know. If you said sanding, you're absolutely right. Yay! Thankfully the piece is pretty small. It doesn't take very long to sand. With everything sanded and feeling nice and smooth, we just need to apply some sort of a finish. And for that, really you have a huge array of options. As most finishes are food safe once they're fully cured, I like to use some sort of an oil type finish, whether it's a linseed oil or some sort of a beeswax mineral oil mixture. But for this one, we're just going to use some good old simple drugstore mineral oil. Really easy to apply, very inexpensive, and really easy to reapply as necessary. Once that mineral oil is dry, now we got a nice, simple, quick, easy to make wooden spatula that's going to work perfect on our cast iron pan. So now we grab our pan, we can do our scraping, cleaning, flipping, turning, whatever, and not damage that seasoning on the pan. Overall, the shape of this feels really good. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a few more of these from those other pieces. What I want to know from you guys is what tips and tricks do you guys have for cooking with cast iron? I'd love to hear them. If you can leave them down in the comments, I'd love to learn from you guys as I progress along in my cast iron journey. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Go make you some of these. Great for your cast iron pans. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Oh, excuse me. Gotta sneak by. Hold on. Hang on, I'm coming back. Oh, sorry. Hashtag small shop. Look at that fly. Thinks he can be all up here on our project. Shoot.